Good morning. It is August 22nd, 2023. Going to be doing the New York Times daily newsletter. It's David Leonhardt. I don't feel good today. Okay, we're covering a common misunderstanding about sexual assault, as well as the rest of the day's news. So slow news day, in other words, because really, a natural response. This morning, I want to tell you about a story that's difficult to read, but also eye-opening. John Percy, a contributing writer for the Times Magazine, has spent months reporting on a frequently misunderstood aspect of rape, why victims often freeze rather than scream or fight back. I feel like this is not a newsworthy topic. Jen's story opens with a list of examples, some well-known and some from reporting. Ike froze, said a woman who was assaulted during a military training exercise. I just absolutely froze. The actor Brooke Shields said, describing how she felt while being raped. I just froze. Lady Gaga said about being assaulted when she was 19. I was like a dead person. Norwegian actor. Yeah, fight, flight, or freeze is a response, and typically that's what you're going to get with that. Yeah, researchers say that it's an automatic defensive response with roots in evolutionary behavior. There is a cliche dealing with a different kind of threat that captures the same idea, deer in the headlights. So why are we bringing this up? Why is this something that's being talked about as the main topic on a newsletter? Why? Most of this stuff this is all a known. I'm not going to read it. That's just fear porn. That's all it is. So what are we trying to terrify you of? Hawaii wildfires. Oh, look, a picture of the dear leader who finally was troubled to he didn't end his vacation. His vacation was finally over. So now he has some time to go to the people that didn't pay him anything. Don't contribute to the big guy's campaign. Don't expect him to care about you. President Biden traveled to Hawaii to tour the aftermath of the wildfires and meet with survivors. The devastation is overwhelming, he said. Yeah. First, it was no comment. These maps of Lana show at least 1,900 buildings and other structures the wildfire damaged. Officials in Hawaii knew for years the wildfires were coming. Now residents are asking how they were so unprepared. Intentional. It was intentional. They specifically told you this. They wanted this to happen. This is something that benefits the people at the top because now Oprah, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, and everybody else, they're going to come in, buy up all the land, buy locals. This helped out a lot. And it's going to be good for climate change too, because it's an excellent story to push those fears. Tropical Storm Hillary brought record rainfall to parts of Southern California, but caused little damage. We were lucky, an Orange County official said. Yeah, because it's just some rain and it's not a big deal. The rain reduced the risk of wildfires in the region, at least for a few weeks. Tropical Storm Harold formed overnight, less than 200 miles east of Texas, and was expected to move inland today. Republican Today debate. The field is set for the first Republican primary debate. 8 candidates will participate tomorrow. Donald Trump will not. Nobody cares. It's going to have the lowest ratings ever. It's just it's over. It's Vivek, and it's going to be Trump. Donald DeSantis is done. Nobody cares about anyone else. Royal Rumble. Democrats hope to see Republicans take unpopular positions on abortion and Social Security. The only thing that's unpopular about abortion is like saying that you want an outright ban. Most people favor some kind of ban. Democrats lie when they say that people don't. The majority of people favor a ban at around 12 weeks, like France. Social Security. There's a great analogy with Social Security. If you were to just take your money and have put it in the stock market at any point, you would have done about 30% better than even the absolute best Social Security. There was a guy who was talking about it today. He's projected to spend $600,000 if he just put his money in a money market account and got 5%, which he could have done. He would have $1.9 million. Instead, he's looking at living off $3,000 a month, which is just over $37,000 a year. And he makes the comment, how is it not theft? It is. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme where they don't pay you anywhere close to the benefit you would have got in the private market. They compel you to do it, and they pretend that it would all collapse if we stopped doing it, which is not true. They lied about every aspect of Social Security. They're continuing to lie to you. It doesn't give seniors dignity. It doesn't help anyone. It's failed to do every promise it's claimed. Chris Christie had hoped to goad Trump onto the debate stage. Will his attacks land if Trump isn't there? Nobody cares about Chris Christie. He's a joke. That's it. Trump indictments. Trump said he would turn himself in on Thursday to be arraigned in the Georgia election interference case where they're trying to interfere with his election. A judge set his bail at $200,000, which is a joke. Prosecutors push back against Trump's request to postpone his federal election interference trial until 2026. That's the federal one. Basically, they're saying that the lawyers need to be able to look over millions of pages of documents in a record short amount of time, which is absurd, showing further that Jack Smith's case is just a joke. A new poll found that Trump's lead among Republicans in Iowa, the site of the party's first caucuses, grew after he was indicted. That's because nobody cares about the indictments. These are just red meat for the leftist base. Everybody else looks at them as political. Nobody cares. China made a smaller than expected cut to a key interest rate in the face of its economic slowdown. Stocks fell in response. China's a manufactured economy. It's going much worse than they claim. The Chinese government has often addressed economic troubles by making things up and lying, by spending more on infrastructure that's fake and falls apart, but heavy debt will make that playbook tough to follow. While the Biden administration is trying to reset the U.S. relationship with China, state governments are enacting sweeping rules aimed at severing trade ties with Beijing. Yeah, it's because they get caught spying and operating bioweapons labs and fake police stations, and the Biden administration gives them our strategic oil and lets his son get money from them because he's corrupt. International. Prigozhin, the mercenary chief of the brief mutiny against Russia, June, appeared in an unverified video in Africa. I don't believe any of that. I don't believe there was an actual mutiny. I don't believe in him. I think it's all rope-a-dope. I think it's just fluff, just to distract people. That's all it is. Japan intends to begin discharging over 1 million tons of radioactive wastewater in the ocean this week. Plan complicates its nascent friendship with South Korea. They have a friendship. This whole thing where Biden, the media is pretending like Biden did something great with the Camp David talks in South Korea and Japan. They're friends. They're friends that are right next to each other and have a common enemy in North Korea that likes to fire off missiles. Japan and Korea are been friends for a long, long time. There's nothing special about these deals. They're acting like there's something big. It's not. It's just to try and give some kind of a win in Biden's failing presidency. He's the second worst president of all time. He has the worst economy in history, the highest inflation, the worst jobs numbers. They're lying when they say it's high unemployment. No, it's not. Or excuse me, high employment. It's high unemployment. It's an absolute joke. Everyone knows that $15 for a steak, $7 for a pound of butter is absurd. Nobody believes that this is a good economy. Cambodia's prime minister transferred power to his son after nearly 40 years, which is an interesting thing. I'm surprised they even mentioned that, but nobody cares about Cambodia anymore because the Vietnam War's over, so the media just looks the other way. A British nurse was sentenced to life in prison without parole in the killing of 7 newborns. That's it. That's all you gave. This woman spent years murdering prison. That's all they know of is the 7. I guarantee there's more. There's no way that's it. And this woman worked in the public healthcare system, was protected by people, had all these pictures of her, and that's all they managed to do is just a one-word line. 6 months after he entered hospice care, Jimmy Carter is still holding hands with his wife, and his family's planning for his 99th birthday in October. Good for Jimmy. 1-year-olds exposed more than 4 hours of screen time a day had developmental delays. Yeah, of course, you shouldn't give your kids screens. That should not have been difficult to figure out. Investigators missed signs that sheriff's deputies in Mississippi suffocated a man while subduing him. Better training, that's really the only thing there. Tennessee Republican officials accused state's GOP governor of ignoring voters by urging action on gun violence. In fact, he's heard them. There's nothing that the state can do. There's nothing. Murder is illegal. What difference do you think any more laws will make? Japan's plan to release radioactive water in the Pacific. It's a missed opportunity to restore trust in how governments handle nuclear waste. I don't know. They did it before. It didn't seem to cause as much harm as they thought. Paul Krugman writes that, a nice fluff piece on the Chinese economy. That's just funny. Let's see. Robot taxis in San Francisco. That's not a good idea. I would not do that. A sunflower farm had to ask visitors to stop posing nude. That's kind of funny. Spaniards complain that British visitors drink too much and spend too little on their tourism, which is kind of funny because the Spaniards are well known for their love of the drink. So having too many followers can be a turnoff in our digital world, I'm sure. There's probably a lot of people that look at that, and then there's probably a lot of people that think the opposite way as well. Who cares about sports? So what do we got Chris up here for? So let's see. His name is actually Chris. A little-known musician, Oliver Anthony, topped the latest Billboard singles charts with Richmond, north of Richmond, a country song infused with right-wing messages. It's not right-wing. That's just propaganda right there. There's nothing right-leaning about it. The song is part of a summer of conservative pop culture hits, including the Jason Aldean song Try That in a Small Town and the anti-child trafficking film Sound of Freedom. They say that like it's somehow bad. Social media attention has helped the song find an audience, but its sudden rise was partly thanks to the savvy fans who used a quirk of the charts to boost its position, a tactic the K-pop fans also use. Actually, they just bought it. What it is they liked him, so they bought it, and now the media is essentially upset that this guy's music is popular because it doesn't send the message that the media would like it to send. I'm shocked. So they attack him and call him right-wing. At least they're not saying he's racist, which they tried to do that initially. Angelina Jolie will produce a Broadway musical adaptation of S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders. I can't imagine a musical version of The Outsiders is going to be that great. Isn't that... No, West Side Story is a ripoff of Romeo and Juliet. Either way. Federal judge rejected an inventor's attempt to copyright AI-generated artwork. The ruling is expected to be appealed. Caramelized eggplant for vegetarian chili. What? Breathe when you're checking email. A lot of people forget whether you should get an RSV vaccine. No. Yeah, email apnea. Take a breath. Okay, so that's it for the day. So, just show me some good food just once.